You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I leave an impression and take a redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me.
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode. My name is TradeFly, bringing you some of the most important market news, as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. Updated the profile picture today, tried to make it look a little bit more like me. Got rid of the fancy sunglasses and the suit. We got to keep it real. Hope everyone is doing well out there today. Bitcoin is a fallen. It is down about I'd say about $80,000 or so today, hanging out around there, but not such a big deal. And we have a very key level that we have been looking at here recently on the show, and we're gonna rehash that. So when you get to the TA section, pay attention, because we got a level that we think we're gonna get some price action off of. So if you like to trade, that is gonna be the spot for you. But first things first, let's go ahead and say what's up to the homies in the chat. We got Alexandra G, the best mod in all of the space. What up, lady? How you doing? We got TMB Willa. Gang, how you doing? We got Jesse Galuk. Hey, brother. Welcome to the fam. Obviously, you've already been part of the fam, but he's going to be a mod on the Discord now, so watch out. He's got power. Be careful with that. All right. And, of course, there it is. Welcome to the squad, my dude. All right. Let's go ahead and get this party started. First thing we're going to look at is going to be the crypto bubbles. Maybe not. It is stuck on my X right now. Let's go ahead and fix that. There we go. All right. There we go. All right, so crypto bubbles, we got Ton, that is up 12.7%. Siren's up 25.6%. Sky AI getting its booty beat at 28.9% to the negative. Luna Classic, told you, stay away from that. That is down 12.4%. Anything that happens with that one, I'm guessing they're just trying to pretty much rug you. All right. Let's go over to the total market cap, and that is sitting at 2.66 trillion. That's down 1.41%. Fear and Greed Index is 48 neutral. Bitcoin currently at $80,176, down 1.52%. Ethereum at 2302, that is down 1.86%. Dominance is at 60.3%. That is actually down just a little bit. All right, let's go over to the segment that you guys love. It is going to be the Daily Degen. All right, and here we are over at 2Bit. Remember, you guys can save 20% off your trading fees, and you also can get a bonus. All right, so if you put money in there, you get money. If you trade, you get money. Use code TFSAVE20. That is about as much as we're going to shill here today. All right, so the Daily Degen, we got a 40x Bitcoin position that we're looking to play right now. You guys are 75% Moon. Got 4 votes in there. Let's go ahead and get that going. There ain't no coming back from that. You know what we got to do? We got to put... I got 5 on it. Let's go. All right, so 75% Moon. That's in there. And here we go. So if you guys are new around here, the way we do this is we let you guys, the audience, vote whether we go long or short, and I just go ahead and throw 5 on it. So not much TA. We'll do the TA here in a bit, but something to have a little bit of fun with, right? All right, over to the news, and of course, we got to bring back my dude, Mr. Elmer Fudd. And here we go. DOJ is investigating $2.6 billion in oil trades placed shortly before President Trump's major Iran war announcements. This is an ongoing issue that people have been talking about, that people have been putting in very, very large trades, almost like they know what's about to come. Weird. Government's been doing it for years upon years, probably before you were even born, with that insider trading, inside information that they have. And if they ain't doing it, their family's doing it. So here nor there. Hey, give us the update, man. You want to make us wealthy? Give us a heads up. It ain't going to change what's going on in the world. Just make everyone wealthy that pays attention. All right, let's go over to the liquidation heat map. Looks like we were chasing a little bit of liquidity right above $80,000. That was the hot spot on the map. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. I want to look at the weekly real quick. That was the 3-day. Scrolling down, yeah, so we still got a good bit of liquidity down below, just below $78,000. That's really the area that I think I'm going to be keying in on. I did post that in both Discords today. Looking for about 77.5 to about 78K is an area that I will be keenly watching. Why is that? Well, not surprised to see a bounce right here. Got the moving average working its way up, 0.382. Bullish continuation, that is where you want to bounce. Problem is liquidity, knowing that's down here. You do have now the golden pocket, all right? So since the price is pushed up, remember, we've been looking at this since about Monday, Tuesday timeframe is when I drew this little profile here of watching some of the price action. Let's go ahead and we're going to get rid of that, because it is still in play. I just want to clean up the chart a little bit, because I think that is very much still in play. So why do I think that? Again, you got order block, golden pocket, high volume node, and liquidity all sitting in this area. Now, the problem with this, the issue that you might run into just a little bit, is that this might be a quick play. And the reason it might be a quick play is because, one, you're kind of flipping some of the areas that you have support. So you're retesting, obviously, an area that you had as resistance. You're flipping that into support right now. If you come down and you get a bounce out of that area, could be short-lived. So I would kind of target this as more of an intraday, or at minimum, hey, getting your original investment off the table if you were to come back up to these levels here, and that's about 79.4. So it's going to be a quick one, to be honest with you. You're not going to get a big move out of it. We can measure it just to see. Well, I will refrain from saying you're not going to get a big move, but just know that it's not the way I'm trying to play this. You're only looking probably to 1.71% return. So what does that mean? For me, I'll have to use a little bit of leverage to amplify those gains, but that's going to be a quick one in terms of the price action, the movement that I'm looking to play here. Now, if you're looking for continuation and think that this price action is going to work its way and continue up, that could just be a nice area to add to a position or to get in if you missed the majority of this move. Remember, moves like waves, up, down, is kind of the flow, right? Like that's just the way it works. Price go up, price go down, price go up, price go down, price go up, price go down. Even though it's trending to the upside, just understand there's always going to be these little pullbacks in times even when you could be consolidating. So what are we looking at right now? Well, we are at an area of resistance. All right, we talked about that. We had it highlighted here by those pink lines. We had liquidity that was up here that has gotten taken now. All right, so that does open up the door, knowing that you have confluence in this area around 81.7, 82K. All right, got the liquidity off. That did open up the opportunity for a potential short. Did I jump on it? No. I did have a lot of work I was doing yesterday. I actually worked, or at least I was up. I was up for about 29 hours. So yeah, I was a little busy yesterday. But you can see when you're looking at the Z-score here, or really the trend reaper, it's a Z-score based indicator. You can see that it was starting to trend to the downside, right? So you're getting divergence. A divergence in the price action between that and the oscillator, okay? You see how that's kind of working down, price action working up. I do like that. Pretty good signal that it was losing a little bit of strength as we came in to grab this liquidity. Let's go over to Kayataka and look at the open interest as well as CVD. Just waiting for it to load here. A little bit slow. There you go. All right. So look at the DOM right now. What you do see is shorts are more prominent on the DOM, at least above the price action right now. All right. So to me, that would suppress the price action just a bit, right? Looks a little weak down here. All right. This is your sell side. This is your buy side down here. As you can see, CVD is starting to work its way over, kind of bent over there. Are setting it looks like you're starting to set some new lows. Same thing for the open interest. Now, open interest, you did have some divergence here between the open interest as well as the price action, all right, as well as running into those passive orders. Remember, we talked about that. Having passive orders, liquidity, and some confluence up there really was a nice little lineup. It did get tapped too. All right. So if you're looking at this, these orders, the passive orders that were on the books, it did get tapped, pushed up, took the liquidity off the table, and then look, you started to see this divergence with the open interest. See how it started to make a lower high, even though CVD was still kind of pushing. Open interest was not. Oscillator was not. So you had a couple things that were kind of saying, "Hey, take a look." Take a look. It looks like the way you read this, just so you understand for the open interest, is that positions were being closed. And when I talk about this, right, I was like, hey, know the trend. Understand that the trend was to the upside. If you start seeing open interest start to trend to the downside, likely positions are being closed in terms of stop losses are probably getting hit because a bunch of people kept piling into shorts. You kept seeing liquidity over top of the price action. It just kept happening over and over and over again. When there's no more liquidity to chase, it kind of reduces the incentive. However, people were kept piling into shorts. It was like there's just gluttons for punishment, just kept getting beat up. And then what you'll see is those shorts kind of stop piling in. It lightens up a little bit when you're looking at the liquidation heat map. And then all of a sudden you get that reversal. But open interest was a key there and telling you that, hey, some of these positions were being opened. It does not mean that people piled into shorts, though. That was not the case here. So when we talk about this more of a B setup, Vice and A+. The A+ would have been that what you did see is you saw the initial open interest start to work its way down. Positions were being closed, but then you actually would see a little bump up in open interest, and then you would see the CVD align with the direction of the price action, right? So that took a while to really be established. Look at this. I mean, as open interest continued to work its way down, it's like people still believed the longs were still more aggressive as the price action started to work its way down, and then all of a sudden it just tanked, right? They just said, oh, yeah, this ain't holding, and they just exited pretty quickly. Or I won't say exited pretty quickly. I will say that the shorts became a lot more aggressive right before. Really, you can see it was kind of holding this horizontal level, right? You see the resistance here, and then it turned it into support, and you can see that it was holding, and then you got that big push through, right? So that's what I talk about sometimes when you'll get the impulse move with a breakout retest continuation. Right now, you're kind of testing a key level. You do have a high volume area node. You see that pushing out to where the price action is right now, but also that horizontal level where there was both support and resistance, and that kind of lies around 80,500 or so, down to about where we're at. So pretty key spot right now to see a potential rejection. You would like to see that. I think if you see the rejection from here, that kind of opens up the door for what we were talking about in terms of the price action coming all the way down to about 77 to about 78K. Again, here's all your confluence down here. I do think you're going to get a bounce out of that zone, and therefore I will be looking for a potential trade out of that area here in the near term. All right, coming over to the chat real quick. I see some people sneaking in here. We got B Team Crypto. What up, homie? Good to see you, man. Of course, we got David B in the house. Hey, man, I'm gonna try to get out and send that hat out to you today. Again, thank you for all your support. Appreciate you. David B has been around for a minute. So, all right, here we go. Let's keep this moving. How you doing? Keep it moving. Let's see what the NASDAQ is doing. It is, goodness gracious, man. Unbelievable, setting highs. I would not be surprised to see a bit of a pullback, at least retest this order block down here. But I think more importantly is probably this high volume area that sits at about 23.5. Now, I mean, people would not like that. It's kind of a substantial move to the downside. I mean, man, you're talking about 8%. That probably would freak people out a little bit, but I mean, goodness gracious, it's just been on a rocket ship. I do actually like that area because you're looking at coming down 0.8382, high volume area node, top of this range here. Let's go ahead and mark that. I think that's important. Let's go ahead and mark it. There you go. Now it is above that volume. The one thing I would really, really enjoy, I mean, you do see a little spike right here. Man, if that volume was up here, gosh, that would be primo. But I still think that this is a good opportunity to start looking at a potential trade on the NASDAQ at least, and that sits at about 24. Even if it does come down and, test this high volume area, I think you are talking about some of the, obviously, like if you were to put a fixed range volume profile on it, you're probably looking at the value area high would be my guess. Maybe even the POC is where this volume node is. So yeah, I definitely think anywhere between 23.5 to about 24, nice little area to look at for the NASDAQ. Let's look at USDT dominance. So understanding the inverse correlation between that and Bitcoin, it is progressively still working its way down. So here it is, man. We nailed this one. All right. So we were talking about this horizontal level right here, bottom of the range. Remember, I talked about the bottom of the range. Retest these little ranges here, POC, as well as the bottom of the range. We even put a line on it, and that's exactly where you bounced. That is exactly where you bounced. So again, how do you use that? Well, you use it as confluence with the other charts, and specifically Bitcoin, right? Because of the inverse correlation. So you had this nice move down. Of course, you got that little diamond there, hit right off of that horizontal that we had drawn, and then up and away, and then it's getting squeezed right now. So you do have the moving average rate above you, but man, that was a nice bounce. So again, how do you use that? Understanding that you had a nice little trend to the downside. Where do you have support? Identifying that, we knew that was around 7%, get a bounce. So that is where you would start thinking about, okay, if USDT dominance is going to bounce, we could be looking for a little bit of downside for Bitcoin, understanding it's the inverse correlation. And if you were in a long position, right, then you would have maybe started thinking about taking profits or, exiting a position, knowing that, there could be a bit of a price action here, we'll say, with USDT dominance. So, yeah, I mean, I wasn't even looking at the arrow, kind of drew that out. So we can get rid of that. So what we are looking for here is maybe now a rejection. So what would that do? That actually would open up the door for a bounce for Bitcoin. So let's go back to Bitcoin here, look at kind of where we're at. And that is logical. All right, again, 0.382, top of the range. You got the moving average there. It's a logical area for a bounce. We did talk about this though. And my problem with that, not that you couldn't take a lower capital play, not that you couldn't take a position, like I wouldn't actually be against it. It's just not my higher probability area. So when I say that, I would much prefer to come down and actually take the liquidity off the table. I don't like having liquidity. And when I say that, I'm talking about the liquidation heat map specifically. I don't really like having that underneath of me when I'm getting into a position. I see that as risky. All right, so take note of that. But I would say the higher probability, hey, this is kind of like a B, this is kind of more like an A. But again, you do want to bounce off the order book and order flow to see that that's kind of aligning with you. But right now, USDT dominance would kind of lean towards, in the near term here, maybe a potential little movement to the downside, which would open up some upside movement for Bitcoin. Now, that being said, I feel like this area here, I like better for USDT dominance. You can see the order block. You can see high volume area node. Yes, you got to work through that moving average, which has been actually holding up pretty well in terms of the price action, right? It has respected it quite a bit. Funny enough, I don't know how, real useful that is on USDT dominance, but here nor there. Your area above here at about 7.36 to about 7.38 is an area that I like better in terms of seeing a rejection. So when I say that, what am I looking at? If we push through, like I think we can get a little stagnant here, but if you get a pop, I do think you're going to get a rejection out of this area right here. And that I like a bit better. Okay. And why? Because that's when you start getting the confluence between the charts, right? You got a nice area down here where we have liquidity for Bitcoin. And then for USDT dominance, you have a nice area where you can potentially see a rejection, understanding the inverse correlation. All right, let's go to the total market cap. Looks a lot like Biddy. We don't need that. Standing over the moving average. And then, of course, down here, you can see the order block once again, high volume area node. Very, very tight confluence between Bitcoin and total market cap right now. But, man, down to about 2.57, 2.58. I really think that's a nice area to see a bounce for even total market cap as well. But I mean, you can see highs of the range, just like Bitcoin right now. This would be a spot. I'm guessing you're probably looking at the 0.382 as well for the total market cap, if you care. Yep, pretty darn close. All right, so there right now is an opportunity at least for a bounce. Let's look at the order book here. Let's see what we got. You do have a couple passive orders stacked underneath of you. You can see volume stacked under. You're really at some volume right now. And let's go to the 5 minute. I just want to see. So CBD has kind of went horizontal at this point. Open interest had a nice little spike there. So you never know. This actually right here, some old school traders. This little horizontal right there. This is where you would look for a bounce, and then that's where they would enter and look for a move to the upside. I would probably look somewhere around where this high volume area is. At about 80,900, 80,800. If that's your game, if that's the way you play the game, some people do. But more importantly, what I'm looking at right now is I want to see where passive orders are. And I'm talking about, something for that 77 to like 78K range. So let's look at that. Get rid of that. We already talked about that one. So yeah, you do see some orders coming in here. That's at about 78.1, 78.2. You got some here, but really, I'm looking where does it align? Does it kind of fit the narrative in terms of the area I'm looking at? And this one does. So sometimes there are like laddered in positions. I don't think this is it because they're usually a little bit more symmetrical. You don't have a gap typically. But I would concentrate on this to see if this heats up. And so do people kind of continue to stack in passive orders, right? That'll help you with getting that bounce out of that area. And you can see that's kind of that last big volume, that candle there. Take the rest of it in. There you go. Yeah, no, that's a nice little spot, man. Look at the high volume area node. So right around that area as well. That goes down to about 77.5, right? So 775 to 78,000 is an area that we talked about specifically, and that is really where a lot of your volume is. So you are likely, I think, see a little bit of a bounce if you were to work your way down there. So I'll be concentrating on that. Let me go over to the chat here. It looks like you guys are just famming it up, man. Famming it up. Are we getting a rejection now? Yeah, I mean, we've already kind of started that. If you're looking at like the 4 hour. Let me see here. So remember, we're kind of looking, that's total market cap. It's dominance. Here we go. Come on, you can do it. See, I had this kind of lined out for you guys on the last one, right? I saw that as an area of resistance, as well as liquidity was sitting at about 81.76. So yeah, I mean, we have gotten a rejection. Now it's just a matter of we're retesting the highs of the range. You did have a move here. See, just kind of very similar to what I was just talking about. Push through, got a horizontal retest continuation. That kind of aligns with the highs here as well, where you got these two rejections, right? We talked about the double top. And being careful with that. But that's another discussion. We'll talk about that another time. But yeah, this is your first kind of like step, right? And you're coming down to the moving average. So like I would lean towards potentially a little bounce here. Definitely smaller time frame stuff. I would lean towards that. But again, I would like to see us lose that. And then what happens, right? People start getting a little nervous, kind of lose the average, kind of get a sharp move down, and then you get that liquidity. So market makers happy, they get the liquidity. We're sad because, most retail is part of the liquidity. And then that would be where I would expect a potential bounce. So you come over to order book, order flow. You just want to see a continuation in trend for CBD as well as open interest right now. I mean, if you're looking at the 4 hour, still looking fine. Nothing too crazy there. That's looking good. Just come on over to like a lower time frame, maybe the 15-minute or 5-minute. I preferably work on the 5-minute. But what you would like to see, and this would make you feel a lot better, is if you were to get a, this kind of keeps working up, a little bit of divergence between the price action and the CBD. So if this comes down, if this is working down, it's probably going to bounce here, to be honest, and then make a move. Probably see something a little bit more aggressive, but here nor there. If you start getting that move down, but you see a continuation in trend. Now you don't have to see this. This is just, if you do see it, get excited, because that means that longs are more aggressive, which means they're kind of piling in. You would love to see a continuation in trend for open interest, right? And when I say that, if you can see this, and then you get that divergence between the price action and open interest and CBD, yeah, that's going to make you feel a lot better. And then you come down here and you start tapping these passive orders. I would say that's going to be the plan I'm looking at here in the short term. And again, I don't want to say, so don't think that I'm saying, hey, the price has to go down. I'm not. I'm just saying if it does, it's very much an if then. We're getting liquidity, we're sweeping that off the table, but then we're seeing some of the other indications in terms of CBD open interest that align. You got a high confluence area. I do still like that area, and I think we talked about that last show as well. So, I'm gonna keep beating that up until you guys pay attention, but I do like that area quite a bit. All right. Let's look at Ethereum real quick. That's lost 2,300. You're all right, though. You're all right. It's consolidating. So it's kind of found itself a range. The good news is it's stair-stepped up, right? That's what you want to see, all right? You get a range, and then we're like, all right, cool, big move through the zone, and then we start another range. And at this point, I think we can put a fixed range volume profile on that. Let's go from here. Well, that's interesting. That is not what I wanted. Fixed range volume profile. Did I not click that? Did I not? All right, there we go. Okay, so you're right at the value area low right now. You are sitting in an order block. That might not be a bad opportunity. If you get a bounce, what are you doing? If you get a bounce for Biddy where it's at, could be a little opportunity. Problem is, you do have the POC. I would probably want to get above the POC before I get a little bit more comfortable with taking a position, and I would only probably look to go to the value area high of the current range. Current range right now, so your value area low is sitting at about 22.82, and then the top is about 23.90, 23.89. POC and the volume 23.15. So what would that move be? That would be about a 3% move. I wouldn't necessarily be against that for Ethereum, right? If you want to play the range, if you're a range trader, you can definitely look for that as an opportunity, as well as just the value area high. If it does push back up to the value area high, maybe you could look for an opportunity there. And again, you just go to Bitcoin as the North Star. and start looking at where it's at relative to its price action. Bitcoin's going to be a little bit harder. It's not as well established. Ethereum got into its range quicker, and it's been holding the range. So, you know, you got a little bit more to work with on Ethereum, to be honest with you. I do typically prefer to trade Bitcoin, but when you get into something like this where, you know, hey, Bitcoin's daddy, it's the North Star, but you got a really defined range for Ethereum, I will think about taking trades for other assets, for other altcoins. This would be one of those times that I would probably think about it, just because of the range is so well defined right now for Ethereum. All right. Scrolling through. What'd you guys do? You guys went long, right? Let's go ahead and look at the daily Degen. See what you guys got going on here. Just right where you started. Right where you started. It's so funny. That's how dead this time frame is. You're down 0.83% on a 40x play. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. All right. Back to the charts. Let's look at something different. I haven't looked at, Amazon. I haven't looked at that and good Lord, who knows? Amazon to the moon. All right. That's on the 4 hour too. That's aggressive. Came down, what's that? 38% move from when? What's the bottom there? Into March. So a week and a half, 2 weeks? 38% move for Amazon? Goodness gracious. Looking good for Amazon. 271. All right, let's see if there's any opportunities for Amazon. Let's see how the Fibonacci retracement level. Let's go to this one. There you go. So your golden pocket does align with your high volume area node. And problem is, moving average is just blasting off. I mean, that's the 55, just so you know. Roughly the 55. But definitely an area to look for here. Just knowing it's the golden pocket as well as the high volume area. That's about 230. Looking at the tops. That's your 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level is about where the tops are. 0.382 is about 246, and that kind of aligns with these tops. I think you might get a bounce off of that, so probably mark that on your charts. Also would fill, it looks like a fair value gap. I don't know if that's properly marked here. Let's be realsies. That's a stretch. Indicators on crack. But 0.382, you do have volume, top of the range. That's probably, you know what? That's probably going to be the first spot I look at right there. That right there. 0.382, bullish continuation, come down, boom. Amazon, I'm looking at about 248. 248. If you're into TradeFly, that might be a spot for you to get into a position. Just wait for something wonky to happen. And when I say that, I mean in the world. If something happens with Amazon that's weird, then obviously you're not going to take that. But if something happens in the world that brings the market down, you know, something not crazy, not too crazy, but if something, you know, there's one of those days, it's just a red day for the market, then you look for that pullback, and that's kind of a safer way to kind of look at, you know, getting into a position there. ADA Ace, what up, bro? Short in oil, my man. Long on ADA. Let's look at ADA, man. I think it broke through a key level for me. I obviously have quite a bit of ADA. I think I have, I don't know, probably sitting on about 10,000 ADA or something. Yeah. That's right. There we go. That was my line in the sand. ADA. We could be flipping, man, finally. Just took ADA Ace to show up in the chat. That's all it was. So looking at the previous POC here, high volume area node around 26. I remember talking about that. I was like, hey, if we get above 26, we are opening the door a bit for Cardano, right? So right now, breakout, retest, looking for that continuation. I think a play, there is an opportunity at least to come back up to this value area high. Obviously a huge order block there, but you do have some volume as well. That sits at about 28.47 for Cardano. So what does that look like from here? %7.48%, nothing to sniff at. But if it does obviously stay within this range and kind of, you know, develops a range like this, that's tradable. That is tradable. So welcome back, Cardano. It's been a while. Let me see here on the daily. This indicator has not been nice to Cardano though. Look at this. Yeah, this one, dumpsies. Yeah, this one, dumpsies. Another little flash there. Another little flash. We'll hope for the best though. I think if it stays above this moving average and this volume, I think you might be all right. You might be all right. Like I said, I am in some positions on Cardano, or in a position on Cardano. So I would love to see it go up. All right. What we got here? 12:05. We got some time. Scrolling down. Doge took a little hit. Let's look at Doge. Oh yeah, we talked. Oh, the wife is calling. She may not realize I'm live right now. Let me give you guys some music and see what she wants. All right, we're back. She left some rice on the stove. I guess that was important enough to call me. All right, so Doge. Looking at Doge. Fair value gap down here as well as a moving average. Man, if we get a pull back on that, let's see what that looks like for the Fibonacci retracement level. We'll take the low. Come on. What is your deal? Here we go. All right. Got your 0.5, 0.618 down here. Yeah, I would keep an eye on that. Retesting the top of the range, moving average. Might get a little wick down to the golden pocket. That would make me feel a lot better if you get that wick off of the golden pocket and then reestablish above the moving average, about where this fair value gap is. But you could get a bounce earlier. You do have this small little bit of volume that sticks out at about 10 cents, almost 10 cents even. That's where I would be looking for a bounce, honestly. Right about 10 cents even. Nice little, let's say a little opportunity there, maybe. Come down, go back up. That's what you would like to see. So I'd keep an eye on that for Doge. Can see the oscillator is showing you definitely getting a little bullish, right? This right here is essentially is a money flow indicator, but we all know the deal. Price action and volume is what drives it. All right, so it's not true money flow, but the oscillator itself you can see is getting bullish, right? You can see it flip. You can see that the shaded side is on the downside now, and you can see the trend. You can see the trend of the oscillator too on the daily. So definitely looking a little bit more bullish for Doge. And again, you stay down here. You went horizontal. Really, you really did develop some bottoming structure, we'll say. But popped right out of that with authority. Looking all right. Looking all right. That's kind of going to be your litmus test. It's coming down to about 10 cents. Going to bounce out of there. Let's see what else we got going on. Any opportunities right now? Anything tradable? Let's go down to the 5 minute. Where is... So here is your open range breakout. Pink lines right here. Yeah, that's kind of tough right now. You're on the bottom side of the moving average, bottom side of the volume. I mean, might be able to squeak a little short in. I don't know. That's kind of tough. Order book. Again, does look like you have more sell side pressure at about 80,300. Problem is, 80,300, really just the top of this little range here. If things lined up a little differently, I might think about it, right? Because the problem is, if you push back up above this volume here, you're getting above the volume, we're getting above the moving average, and then you're retesting this area. Let's look at liquidation heat map. We'll go down to, let's go to the 12 hour. Let's extend that out. That also points at about 83. What do we got right here? 80,080. Yeah, that's just not, there's not much there. Actually have more liquidity to the downside. It's probably more enticing to drive the price down than up. To be realsies, CVD did kind of bottom out though, went horizontal. Open interest starting to bend right now as well. So if open interest continues to work its way up from where it's at, you're going to start kind of developing a little bit of a trend to the upside, which means all that means is positions are being opened, they're piling in a little bit. But what you don't want to see, if you're looking at a short, what you don't want to see is CVD start to work its way up, right? So it's gone horizontal. If that starts working its way up a little bit, and open interest starts to work its way up a little bit. Like I said, there's this one little horizontal right there that traders will trade. Literally just break through, little impulse move, come down, retest. They take this right here. Because what kind of happens here if like you think about the process, right? You did have some passive orders, but it comes down, impulse move down, takes liquidity, buying pressure comes in, see this wick, and then you push up. So right, if liquidity is off the table on the smaller time frames, not the larger, but on the smaller time frames, then you know this intermediate little step A, get a little impulse move back, reestablish this range right here, and then you take this retest. I mean, for me, it's so small though. You could take from here to about here. That's actually 0.34. So obviously that would be like an extremely high leverage play to get money out of that. But I can make probably an easy $1,000 off of that in like 10 minutes. That would have been scary though. I don't know if I see enough there. So like what I would be looking for, if I wanted to take that retest, this right here, I don't know if there was enough there for CVD. Like, it was pretty flat. What you would like to see here is you would have liked to see this be like that. And you will see this. You'll definitely see this sometimes. You would like to see that continuation in CVD working its way up, right? Divergence between price action and CVD. And then you would have liked to see open interest bounce a little earlier too. Like that would not have given me enough for a scalp. Just because look, I mean, it's still aggressively down at this point right here. And so that probably would have kept me out of it. Keeping it real, keeping it real. Let's go back to the chat, see what you guys got going on. Should be time. It's going to start moving. Talking about Cardano. Yeah, so working above that moving average, working through that volume right there. It's going to be a toughie. Might be able to look for something off of the orb. If you get a push up to the orb, then look for a move back down and retest this area right here. I don't know why I make it so hard. I got something that draws arrows. Use it. There we go. Where's that? That's about 80,500. Could be an opportunity there. But again, you're going to want to come over to the order flow. Let me see. Any passive orders? Sometimes that helps. A little bit at about 80,300. You can see that on the DOM as well. Where's this at? There's not much up there. Not much. Going to the minute, taking a look at that. Yeah, I mean, it's still like, it looks like it started, it's kind of trending down a little bit on the 1 minute. Ever so slightly. Yeah, I don't think I would take that. There it goes. Yeah, it would have been hard for me to take a long. Look at the trend here. Looking at the CVD here, that's kind of pointing down. Open interest is clearly pointing down. Everything would be fighting you there. So taking a long, even though like I would like to look at a position or take a position off of that area at about 80,500 for a scalp. You're not gonna, I wouldn't take a long right now up to that area. So again, it's not a projection of like, hey, I think it's gonna go up here. It's again, back to the if then. If it does come up here, then you start looking at CVD open interest. And if you see this continuation, right? This continues to look like it's trending down. And open interest continues to look like it's working down. And then the price action goes up. Again, you'll get that divergence. And that's where you start looking at it. Now you might get a little wick above. See if there's any liquidity up there. 80,600. It doesn't even register on that one. Let's go to the daily real quick. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Hold on. What'd I say? I said 80,600, not 86, huh? I was like, what is going on? Simple. So 80,600. There you go. All right, so there's a little bit up there. It's pretty light though. Pretty light. Sorry, just kind of looking for opportunities here in the near term. Give you guys something to work with, but I think you got to get some movement. I don't think this is the spot. What do you got in terms of a trend? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, the structure right now is kind of showing you a downtrend as well. So I would say favoring shorts until we kind of hit the range we talked about earlier, which is all the way down at about 78. And I think that one's going to be short-lived. Because that's another piece of this, right? If you're going to take a position, a long position, knowing that your trend right here on the shorter time frames is down very clearly, you're fighting the trend, you got to be careful with that, for sure. Just zooming out a little bit. Don't want to get too soda straw, but down here, that's going to be really interesting. If we were to move back down here to where this order block is, this high volume area node at about what, 60, 67, even as low as 62, 63. Definitely be looking for some price action out of there, but I don't see that in the near term. I do right now. I am concerned with hitting a bit of resistance though on the larger time frames. 0.382 continuation. Let's go. And that one went almost to the golden pocket. Pretty close to golden pocket. Lows of the range. Did have some volume in there as well. Still concerned with the way it looks. A little bit of the structure. Right? This one's still, I wouldn't say it's identical, but it's not far off. It's not far off. I think at this point now, though, we've been down here longer than we were here. So let's see. I think we can measure that. Forecasting, date and price range. Let's just do date. That was 70 bars. And this one is 92 bars. So that's good. All right, this one kind of looks like a PO3. This one does look a little different. was concerned with the PO3, that's for sure. I was like, I do not want to see the same thing happen again. These people have been losing their ass, boy. This does look a little better, right? If you're looking at the, I mean, it's just continued. And now it looks like it wants to establish a range above, where this one was like, this looks like accumulation, manipulation, right? Pushes up, takes liquidity, and then distributes. This looks a little different. So that's good. It's good just understanding, though, you are sitting at some resistance. But again, this is the area I'm going to be concentrating on, right around 78K. All right. Well, I think I have that already uploaded in the Discord. Let's see if we do push up for whatever reason. This will be a nice spot to look at where this volume is. See how there's kind of a gap in the volume, and then you come over and you start looking at where was their support impulse move through. That's kind of somewhere around 84, 85, probably about 85 to 86. That's going to definitely be an area. Like if I'm looking at an area that I'm thinking, hey, I have some confidence in a potential short, that's going to be an area that I'm looking for a short for sure. And not because I think that ultimately the price is going to like reverse and go down. I think there's a good probability. Obviously, moving through this is going to be pretty easy. Getting up to where this volume is, obviously retesting a key level, horizontal level. I just think you'll see an initial reaction to that. And I think the initial reaction out of that is going to be pretty good if you're trying to take a trade. That'd be about a 5% move. Wouldn't take much leverage. So let's put a fixed range volume profile on this right here, because there you go. And that aligns with the POC, the previous POC of the range. I like that. So yeah, if we push up, that's an area to look for. If we push down, I've given you an area here as well. So yeah, I like that area. I'd say maybe a little closer to 86 to 87. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Cubanadian, what up, dude? Out of gang. Hope all is well with you, bro. I think I'm going to bounce out of here. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being in the chat. Hopefully you guys got something from today. I think I was a little low energy today. I might need some more coffee. I didn't get a lot of sleep. Got to be honest with you. But I'm going to bounce out of here. Hope everyone has a great day. Remember, like and subscribe. Go over to 2bit. Save yourself some money. TF Save 20. With that, again, help me out. Give me the likes. Share it out. Giving you guys the sauce all the time. Come on over to the Discord. If you guys missed the show or if you want to see it, I'll actually post. I've actually posted these already, so come check those out. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Hope everyone has a great day. As always, trade safe, be safe. I'm out.
When you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You gotta matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go,